There will definitely be spoilers. Welcome to Family Movie Night. I'm Shan.
And I'm Kelly.
And it was Kelly's pick again, and she picked Yesterday from 2019, which neither one of us had seen before. It stars Hamish Patel, probably saying that wrong, as an unsuccessful singer-songwriter who gets hit by a bus during this worldwide freaky blackout phenomenon. And when he wakes up, nobody except him seems to remember the Beatles. So he starts passing off their songs as his own. I actually really liked this movie. It was not at all what I was expecting. And I'm going to let you start off talking about it, as always.
I pretty much knew I was going to like this movie. I had seen the advertisement and knew basically what it was about. And when it came out, I didn't automatically buy it. I think I ended up getting it maybe a year later or two.
Because the pandemic happened.
Yeah. And I ended up getting it at Black Friday or something. I don't think I paid full price for it. Right. I don't do that as much nowadays. But yeah, so I really wanted to watch it. And of course, it's been sitting on my shelf forever. I had not watched it. And so I thought, well, I need to start watching some of these movies. So yeah. So yes, I love this movie. For one, it's about the Beatles in a way, the Beatles music, and I'm a big Beatles fan, so this was good. I loved the songs. I think he did a very good job with the songs. Also, there was the whole blackout sequence. I loved that. And the music for that part sounded like a Beatles song. I can't think of which one in my mind. I know what it is, but...
A Day in the Life, I think.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm like, I recognize that. That kind of sounds like a Beatles song in a way. So I loved that, and I loved the process of trying to remember to write Eleanor Rigby. That was just hilarious to me. I really loved that sequence. And then when he first realizes, hey, nobody knows who the Beatles are, and he's looking stuff up and, finds out Oasis doesn't exist, and then we learn that other things don't exist too, and I thought that was kind of fun as well.
Like Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, cigarettes, Harry Potter. It's just the sequence of things that you learn that, it don't exist in this timeline or this universe or whatever, this alternate universe that we are in, which kind of makes you think of, what am I thinking of that I keep talking about all the time, where people remember things incorrectly.
The Mandela effect.
Yes, that's what it kind of reminds me of in a way, the Mandela effect. I for some reason I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, I liked it. I really, really enjoyed it. There's a lot about it I enjoyed.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Yes.
I wasn't really expecting that. Well, first of all, I didn't remember it's been so long since I've seen the trailer, I didn't remember it, so I didn't know everybody was going to be British. So it's kind of one of those movies that's kind of, cute and sweet, but you don't want to think too hard about it. But there was, some clever stuff in there. And just the fact of him, being able to figure out all the lyrics and the chords and stuff, I
know, that was he was a heck of a good song person to know all that.
Just that in itself was pretty much a miracle. So I liked the first little recording session he had in the studio that was next to the train tracks.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was really cool how it's they had to wait for the train to go by, so that's the reason for the pause at the end of, what was it, She Loves You, that they was recording?
Something like that.
And then they were, doing the claps and wearing the
Oh yeah, the rubber gloves or whatever.
dishwashing glove things. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah.
And then you had like Kate McKinnon as his. She ends up being his manager, and she's just like really rude.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, in a funny way, because it's Kate McKinnon. Like, she keeps, kind of making mention of him being unattractive, which I thought he was actually really cute.
Yeah.
And then, like, when he tried to play, like, one of his original songs, what did she call it? It's simple, but without being charming.
Yeah. The summer song. Which his group of friends really seem to love the summer song.
And, like, he kind of gets discovered by Ed Sheeran, which I don't really know that much about Ed Sheeran.
No, he's a funny looking ginger. I mean, he's cute in a way, but he's kind of funny looking.
I think originally that was meant to be Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Ooh.
And then there was like a scheduling conflict or something,
man,
so they got
that might
Ed
be
Sheeran
even.
instead.
I know I liked Ed Sheeran in it. I mean, he was funny. I don't know. Now I'm trying to imagine it with Chris Martin. I really like Chris Martin. He is hot too.
And then there's like a couple of people kind of in the audience at various places that seem to know his secret that, the Beatles they actually remember the Beatles. And you think it's going to end up being like something sinister.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool because I didn't know what was the motive there, what was going to happen, because you keep seeing these people and they're just like creepy looking because they're in a daze, or, you don't know what's going through their head. And I liked how that all played out in the end.
Yeah, because it ends up they're just happy that they get to hear the songs again, because they weren't musical themselves, so.
Yeah, they can't sing, whatever. Basically, it pretty much would suck in a world without the Beatles.
Yeah, there's kind of like a little bit of a fairy tale feel to the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like the love story.
Yeah, that was a big part of it as well.
Yeah, originally I was reading the original story was kind of darker and didn't focus on that as much, but then I guess the writer that eventually did the screenplay kind of focused more on the romance aspect. I think it said on the box he was the same writer that did Love Actually, which I've never actually seen. So
I don't know if I've actually seen that either. We might have to actually one day actually watch it. I mean, I may have seen it or I may have seen bits of it, but I'm not for sure. The main girl did look familiar, and when I looked it up, she was in that Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. And that may be what I know her from, but because there was several things listed, but that was the only thing that I think I really, really watched. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think I was just thinking she was somebody else, or
possibly,
like she resembled somebody else.
She probably does resemble somebody else.
And I definitely didn't expect the part where he goes to meet John Lennon.
No, I was hoping that that maybe like the real Paul McCartney or somebody might make an appearance in it, but to go see a John Lennon type, and to see that he had an okay life without doing the music, and he lived, he didn't get shot, but at first when we're trying to see, okay, who is it, and then it comes out and I'm like, this dude kind of does remind me of John Lennon in a way, the way he looks and stuff, but that was neat. And it did have a lot of music in it. Like, they did cover a lot of Beatles songs. And I liked when he was trying to go through the process of figuring out all the Beatles songs. And then different things would remind him. Like, somebody would say a line. And then he'd be like, oh, that's another one, And he'd have all these sticky notes of all the different songs that he's trying to remember and do. And just all that was kind of fun. I mean, he did quite a few songs, And it was neat. I still think the trying to write Eleanor Rigby was one of my favorite parts, though. I mean, I don't even can't remember the words to that half the time. Just like him, he was getting stuff kind of backwards or between the different characters, and I'm like, yep, now I ain't never gonna remember how that song goes.
Oh, like kind of the locations.
Oh, real pretty. I mean, it was filmed in several different places, I think, like L.A., was it Russia or Moscow, or I mean, there was different places, I think.
Look it up, but
because like at the end credits, it was like listing all the stuff, and it was weird. I was trying to follow the big words that was going across the screen. I was like, cameras, lighting. I was like, funny, but there was a lot of pretty parts. Like, I even like the parts with the music festival type stuff. You know,
I even like the part where he does the concert on top of the hotel.
Yes, that was really pretty. Even like that other hotel,
like
too.
the Beatles What was the Beatles concert?
Oh, was it like the Get Back or something? What songs did they sing on top of the roof? I can't think. Oh, it's been so long.
What was the name of the movie that they were doing? Was it? Never mind.
It might have been Get Back. I want to say Get Back, but I could be totally wrong. You'll have to look that up later and tell me I'm wrong. I just want to say Get Back for some reason. It seemed like it's something, like it didn't seem like it was a long title, but I could be totally wrong.
Oh, and then like there was the other part where, you know, they were running from the fans. That kind of reminded me of Hard Day's Night.
Yes, I thought that was cool.
And then like the row of houses. It's been a long time since I've seen Help, but you know how they each had their
yes,
house.
And they were little houses, you know.
So that kind of reminded me of that. I mean, I don't know that it was supposed to. I'm just saying that's what it made me think of.
Yeah, it was a lot of different bits that made me think of the different Beatles movies and the songs as well, you know, and just other stuff in general. I just want to know the reasoning behind all the things that weren't there besides the Beatles.
Right.
Like Oasis.
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me just because they were, you know, like influenced by the Beatles. Plus there was that, the lead singer at one point said they were bigger than the Beatles or something, which was kind of like John Lennon saying the Beatles were bigger than Jesus. I think they're, you know. So there was that.
Coca-Cola, Coke.
That I don't know. Cigarettes, I don't know.
He kept trying to ask for a Coke, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you don't have that." Pepsi. But I guess when he said Coke, everybody's probably thinking of the other Coke. I'm assuming it exists because they keep looking at him funny. But cigarettes are gone.
And I didn't even notice that.
I didn't either until that part, and you're like, there is what?
Oh, that reminds me. Rocky. His it's like their alcoholic friend who ends up being kind of his roadie or guitar tech or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like not good at his job.
Because he drinks a lot and he's always stumbling all over the place. Oh, and did he bring out the wrong guitar at the show? That wasn't a dream, that was the real thing, right?
I don't know, because I think it happened more than once, so I think so.
Oh, him. I liked Rocky, though. He was funny. He was a good character. And then there was one point where she's having, was it crisps? What do they call them? Chips? Crisps? And he wanted to get some of them for the road. He's like, not all the crisps! He's trying to take them all. I don't know why I like that. It's kind of hard for me to keep that straight because you got fish and chips and you got crisps. And I'm like, okay, I know what we call that stuff, but trying to, yeah.
Yeah, you know those baked Lays I bought? Those are not chips, they're crisps.
They're
it says crisps on the back.
Really?
Because they're like Pringles, because it wasn't a whole... I don't understand what the thing is. I heard this on a podcast, but like it wasn't like a whole potato slice, so it can't be called a chip. But then what about corn chip? Because isn't that like ground up corn made into a chip? So how can that be a chip? And potato crisps can't be a chip because
So crazy.
I don't know, because it's reconstituted potato, but I don't know.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Things just are crazy in the world. But it's cool that we all have our own unique...
We are so off topic.
We are. Unique things in the world. I just enjoy seeing the different, stuff in movies that I don't quite, know about because I'm in America, but seeing other places and learning stuff is always kind of fun. I know.
So what would you rate this out of 5?
I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved it. It's a Beatles stuff. I'm big Beatles fan. So.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't pick an actual Beatles movie since I think we have all of them. Or I know we have A Hard Day's Night and
they'll be coming.
Help.
Guaranteed they'll be coming.
You did have Yellow Submarine, didn't you?
Yeah,
what is it? Magical Mystery Tour? I
I'm
don't
not
like that one, but
I'm not for sure which ones I've actually got now. I don't think I've found everything yet.
Oh.
But I know I've got Hard Day's Night, and I think I still got the Magical Mystery Tour, and I think I've got Help. But I'm not for sure about the Yellow Submarine. I know I had it, but I'm not sure if it's in my room.
I'm cutting all this out. So yeah, I'm gonna rate it 4 Yellow Submarines out of 5.
Oh yeah!
I did really like all the performances, and it was really kind of sweet. Like you would, I kind of expected it to be like cynical and more like mainstream Hollywood, so it was refreshing.
Yeah.
Did I say I liked the music? I did like the music.
Yeah, the music was really good, and I liked that they did a good majority of the songs, in the movie, even if it was just little bits.
Yeah, so there you go. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching or listening. And we'll be back next week with whatever I pick.
Oh yeah, you get to pick, and then I get to pick again.
So until then,
Bye-bye. It ain't gonna come back to me. It just completely...
Magical Mystery Tour. Yellow Submarine. Help. I need somebody help.
Not just anybody help.
Oh wait. I don't see. We would be really bad at trying to recreate.
I know,
this.
right? Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you something. I'll give